right, welcome back to Fade or Follow. We are fresh out of the state championship games this past weekend. Texas state championship games. Too bad, Austin, you couldn't make it. How do you feel about that? Do you feel left out?
Very sad.
You feel like we left you out?
Yes.
Dude, all the coaches were like, where's Austin? Where's Austin? Where's Austin? Right, Dustin?
Yeah, it was...
All of them were just begging. Wonder
Begging.
where Austin was. Yeah, it's crazy. But, hey, apparently they didn't need you because the Ganado Indians, the team we've been following since day one, the fans know it too because they've been commenting. Y'all been with us since day one. And they are now the Texas State champions in Division 2, Division 1. 2A Division 1. All right. There you go. Ganado. We'll give them an applause. Hell yeah, Coach Josh Ervin just became the youngest head coach in history of Texas football to win a state championship. Etched his name in the history books, and he will be coming on later today. Oh, Coach Josh Ervin, he actually took the time. State champ, you see that? He realizes he's not too big for us, you know? He remembers who his day ones are, and that's us. So, we had him on mid-August, right? Around 2 days? What did you say about the time we had him? Yeah,
it was early.
No, it was the video. The video was posted on August 19th. So,
yeah, that was before.
It was probably a couple days before that.
A couple days before the first game of the season.
Yeah, so I think he had said they had just had a scrimmage that weekend before. But hey, they did it, man. They did it. They made it back to where they were last year. They got over the hump in the state semifinals, made it to Dallas, ended up beating Stamford 30-28 in a huge overtime thriller. What a game. Best game of the weekend, I would say. The Oak Cliff game was pretty good.
That was a good game. I forgot about that one.
It was kind of like had that kicker made the field goal for like the game winner, it maybe would have made it better. But that was a kick to tie the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really put two and two together. Triple overtime win by the Indians. They end up going to the third overtime in which you have to go for two-point conversions. It's just one play, so it's right on the spot. One play. What's your best play? Put it in. We talked to Coach Ervin. He'll assess that situation later. But hey, what can you say? Bryce Ullman intercepts the 2-point conversion tried by Stamford. I don't think the kids knew they had won. I think it took a second for them to realize they had won, and place went crazy. So happy for Ganado. So happy for the fans, the community. They accepted us. They were patient with us. I mean, I told Austin this the other day. Like, you ever think like, how they're kind of like, I mean, why do they get to go down the field?
Jackasses.
Yeah, why do they get to go on the field? Like, we go to every game. We have to sit in the bleachers. So, do you ever think they think about that?
Probably.
Yeah. We probably don't deserve it, but hey, just know that having us down there, we're giving 100% full support for the team. So,
dude, that was once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Never been on the field, Cowboy Stadium. Probably never will again.
Yeah. Too bad you missed it this time.
Y'all witnessed a 3 overtime.
Yeah. Thriller.
It's probably the first time with these overtime rules, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because they, I don't think a game had been to overtime.
The overtime rules just started last year, right? Where they had to do the overtimes?
I think
I think it started last year, but I don't think there was any overtime games last year.
Yeah, no, probably not.
So
probably not. Very young rule, but hey, I mean, we got to witness it, and great for Ganado. It's great. First ever state championship. Coach Ervin did tell us that was the 6th time that they had made it to the state semifinals. I didn't know that. And they could never get over that hump. So they got over it. They did what they said they were going to do. And a quote from him that he said several times during the playoff run, he said nobody had on their goal sheets to make the state championship. It was to win it. And that's what they did. So he'll be joining us a little bit later. Takeaways from the game. You got to watch it on TV, Austin. What do you think?
Great game. Started off hot, right? Pick, first drive, third and goal, third, whatever. Got it.
Bryce Ullman up the middle. Oh.
Touchdown. Start off hot. That's exactly what they needed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what everyone was saying. Hey, start off hot. I think we got it. I said it like they got to start hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I mean,
never trailed in the playoffs.
Mm-mm.
So
they never gave the lead up at all in this game either. There was a couple ties, but hey, they stayed out. They stayed out in front most of the game. the kids that stood out, Kane Hayden. I mean, that kid has
Stud.
yes, he's great athlete. Shined through the whole playoffs. I think he had 2 reception touchdowns. He had an interception and made quite a few tackles. I think they said he had like 4 or 5 tackles. But all season, and definitely in the playoffs, this kid stepped up. He was the one who had the strip fumble against Joaquin that scored their first touchdown there. So he makes the first defensive play that needs to be made in that game, and then makes the big defensive play that's made in this game here. So can't say enough about him. The seniors on that team, I mean, they really stepped up. Ganado is graduating 18 seniors, I believe, or 14 or 18?
16.
16?
16.
16 seniors, okay, but a lot of their underclassmen are good. You have Austin Pena, you got Logan Burris, Smoke as they call him. He's only a sophomore, and that kid can fly. Hicks,
Logan Hicks, he'll be back.
Hicks, yeah, he'll be back also. And then talking to the guy on the school board, Mr. Green, he says the backup quarterback, I mean, stepped up pretty good whenever Bryce Holman went down. So. Hey, they can make it back there. They got the coaching, they got the right attitude, and hey, this is good. They're gonna buy it. And those kids are gonna buy into this. What do you think of the game, Dustin?
Well, talking about that quarterback, he looked good in warm-ups, man. The freshman, he was a big, good-looking kid.
Yeah.
We saw him kind of warming up pregame. But, man, obviously, the back and forth, it was a thriller. I'm reading this article here right now about the game. Apparently tied for the longest game in state championship history as far as, like, the time that it went, not just like the overtime, but the longest game. Mm-hmm. So we got to see the longest game, apparently.
Yeah.
And man, like Austin was saying, they started off hot, and then there's this ups and downs to the game. They had their chances to win it 2 different times. They had the walk-off field goal opportunity in the fourth, the walk-off field goal opportunity and the second overtime, and then still to overcome all those things, And then the other time, actually, that time too, when they had them.
Well, it was them to go up by 10 when he had missed that field goal.
Yeah. Well, they also had. I forgot about this, but and I want to say, what was it, overtime when they had the fourth down, the 4th and long when they gave it up for a touchdown?
Yeah, it was overtime.
Okay. Yeah, they had them 4th and long, and had they stopped in there, they would have won that. Mm-hmm. So like, they had so many opportunities to win it before that, and they just kept battling.
Yep.
They never quit, and it was really cool to see.
I remember on that play you're talking about, like. I had because the coach called timeout before that play, and I had a feeling that they were going to go to the end zone because Ganado had stacked the line. They had put quite a few defenders up.
Oh
in the
yeah,
box.
That's right.
And sure enough, they sent that kid on the road. That kid was a great quarterback. He was probably all of 5'4", maybe.
Yep, he was short, man.
Yeah, but he had a cannon on him, and man, he was accurate. He made a hell of a play on the 4th down. I mean, they never stopped fighting Stamford. There's a reason they're 5-time state champions. I don't think they have won. I think it's been about 10 years since they've won a state championship. But I mean, sounds to me like they're always kind of in the mix as far as schools that make it in that area.
Dustin said this on the way home. Like, they did a great job of containing him, though. Like,
they did. They had a game plan for him, not to rush him.
He could have ran wild.
Yeah, and they would set their ends to seal the ends. That way he couldn't get outside. But man, what a hell of a game. We have Coach Ervin coming on here in a minute. As far as next year goes, being that they won the state championship, that the kids are buying in, I mean, what do you think of next year?
Man, who knows? I mean, they could. I'm trying to think of the region. Who's going to be there to like knock them off within the region? Even like who's going to be another team? Like Refugio. Honestly, I think they're going to take a step backwards.
Okay. You were saying they're losing quite a few players, right?
Yeah, they're losing quite a bit.
Well, you never know what they're going to get, too, in the offseason.
I don't know.
My boys at Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some good players, man. I'm trying to think. Schulenberg normally has some talent. I'm trying to think anybody else that could maybe knock them off in the region. I'm not too sure.
Three Rivers Bulldogs?
Man, Three Rivers has a lot back.
Yeah, no, they were young. They were young this year.
Three Rivers has a lot back, man. They did. I will say, not this year, but last year, they lost to him, by like 2? It was a really close game. Were you at that game?
Yeah, I was there.
That was a really close game.
It was 26-24, I believe, they had lost.
Yeah, it was a really close game.
It was a real close game, yeah.
So they've shown they've had, enough talent to hang with those guys, even on a year when they made it to the state semifinals. So maybe it's Three Rivers that gives them a little bit of a run for their money next year. I don't know, but I mean, it's going to be tough to. I don't know. To me, once those kids like that, they get the confidence in it and like they get used to making those deep runs. Sometimes it gets hard to knock those teams off. They're just used to it.
The confidence they have in it.
Just
and
what they
everything.
do, like. But they are losing a lot. Ullman is unbelievable, and they're losing him.
And it's just so like poetic that kid makes the big play at the end.
Oh,
makes
yeah.
plays all game, all season long. Makes the big interception. Like how he read that like that. I mean, most I guarantee
You're
most
gonna see
players
he's gonna suck up. You're gonna suck
run
up
right
there.
in
Yep.
to try to get that guy. You know that guy's trying to run it in. Had he had gone maybe 3 or 4 yards,
Yep.
that's a touchdown because that kid was wide open.
Everyone that I talked to was like, "How did he know?"
Yeah, he had ran into him like their backup
Vince.
running back number 28. What was his name?
Salvatore, he ran into the quarterback. He
Yeah.
like blew him up on purpose.
Blew him up there, and then Ullman ran into him, and then I think he kind of sensed it to where he kind of backed up and saw it. But great play, man. We were right there. We were right there next to it. Had to get pushed off the field because of that, but hey, that's what happens, man. We got excited. Other state championship games, Shiner ended up falling the night before.
Kyle's a tough one, man.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy that lives in Shiner, Scott's brother, actually, Steven, and they weren't supposed to go that far this year. Or I know they're always good. Like I know Shiner usually is good for 3 or 4 rounds, but man, they have a lot of freshmen and sophomores apparently on this team. And I believe there's only a few seniors graduating. I think the quarterback is graduating.
One of
You
them.
say 5.
But they're already ready for with the backup. I believe one of their studs on offense is the quarterback next year.
Yeah.
Jarvis Williams is his name, I believe. Yeah, so look out for him. We're gonna try to get the Shiner coach on, next year when we start digging back into the whole high school thing. But yeah, no, we other games. I saw that there was this one kid. His name was Grayson Rigdons, or yeah,
Columbus.
4 state championships with 4 different teams the past 4 years.
How?
I don't know. His dad is a coach apparently, right? And his dad would move, I guess, 4 different staffs every year. 2 6-man championships.
Yeah.
And then I believe he was at 2A last year, and then this year was the 3A, or was it
This was
3?
his first. It was 3 teams in 4 years.
3 teams and 4. Okay.
3 teams.
So
I think
2.
he was at like Richland Springs, maybe.
But he did win a 6-man championship, right? Like two of those, right?
He's won the state title every year he's been in high school.
Yeah, that's crazy. What schools are they? What
I
schools
want
were
to say
they?
it was Richland Springs and Strawn were the other 2 schools, and the third school was this year, Columbus. Who won it? Columbus.
Oh, Columbus.
Yeah, this year.
Right down the road.
Yeah, I think he has a little boy too. I think he has a son also, because I was seeing pictures and stuff, and that's pretty cool to have your son in that moment.
He's committed to Wyoming to go play.
Oh, okay.
Next, Josh Allen.
He had a lot of offers.
Yeah, and then their quarterback who is committed to TCU. I think he has a brother that's committed to TCU also, Adam Schobel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kid. I mean, he was on target with
He's
all
a
his
stud.
throws. He could throw dots, bro. Like that kid was, and the pocket presence. Like it looks like watching a professional. Like a man amongst boys. Whenever that kid was in the pocket, like didn't panic whatsoever. Smooth, perfect throws. I mean, that kid's gonna be special. I think. Hopefully, he can keep it going there at TCU. Was there anybody else that tried to recruit that kid?
Rigdon?
Yeah, I know. Schobel.
Schobel? He was committed to Baylor
Oh, okay.
before that, and he decommitted and committed to TCU.
Okay, and then Columbus. That's 4A, correct?
That's 3A Division 1.
3A.
3A Division 1. Okay. Okay, so that was 3A. They beat Malakoff 48-14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so not much of a game there.
No.
And then 4A Division 2 was the next game that was played, which was Waco La Vega, who had beat Wimberley.
Wimberley.
They lost to Carthage, and Carthage, how many? 10 state titles?
9. They
10.
just tied.
10
They
for
tied. They tied the people that were in the.
Have they gone like back to back, or I mean,
Yeah, they have previously, but they've won 10 now. This was the 10th.
10 state
They
championships?
were
number 10.
above.
Yeah, this was number 10.
My sister's husband is from Carthage, and he says the same shit every year. They're loaded every year.
How? Like, how? We were
They're
talking about how.
in what, like kind of northeast Texas? Is that
Yeah,
is
they're
that where they're?
Texas. They're East Texas, but the crazy thing
Well,
about
dude, when you win state titles, it's crazy how much try goes. Like if you try and dig into a program, like how well the team will do. So if you're winning a few state titles, those younger kids want to be the next ones to win the next one and the next one. So Keontae Ingram is from Carthage.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's several players in the NFL that are from Carthage.
But I can get that you want to win. Like some,
You gotta have the
some,
right
some people like me don't have the physical assets to win.
yeah,
Maybe
I want to win.
the families there got genetics. Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
Something in the water.
Yeah, maybe.
me and Andrew were talking about this on the couch. Like Carthage had not won a state title until Scott Surratt had got there, and this is all these 10 titles were very recently. Like it's been the last 15 years basically.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So,
So-
you can expect him to be there every year then.
Oh, so it's that's what's crazy to me is they hadn't won one, and then he gets there, and then all of a sudden they rattle off 10, 10.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And they go 10-0 in all 10 appearances. But to me, and it's a very similar situation to the guy that's at Gunner. That's won 5 now. Coach Fazell, the 382 team, Gunner Tigers. But anyway, he was there for a while, and we actually coached with a guy in Kennedy. He was from Gunner, and he was one of the last senior classes that graduated that didn't win one, and they had not won one. And so we get that, right? And he's like, dude, I don't know what changed, to where the coach that came in that was there, something changed, and then all of a sudden they just started winning them a bunch. So I'm thinking in my head how cool would that be if somehow George West found the right guy
Oh, now we're
So,
talking about George West, huh?
to
Scott Surratt. Come on.
whoever that is, the right guy. Maybe it's the offensive coordinator for Carthage or something.
Yeah, maybe. You never
Somebody
know.
like that, and then they go take the job and a school that's not won one, and then just get it rolling.
Yeah,
like
that's-
Irvin is
Yeah,
doing. At
that's
Ganado.
how it is in lots of places. You get a good coach that gets along with. Could you see an NFL college? I mean, if the team believes in the coach, they're going to play for him.
But then again, you need genetics. Like we said, you need genetics.
You definitely need kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to
you
have
kids.
talent. I know that you got to have talent, but you don't always have talent. Sometimes you just got kids that work hard. So hard work pays off, as they say. Very cliche, but whatever. The other 4A D1 was Kilgore and Salina. Salina won they're up there in state titles also, I
Yep.
believe. That was their 7th, I think, or 7th or 8th.
A lot, yeah. They've
Yeah.
won a ton.
They beat Kilgore 55-21, and the Richmond, Randall, and the South Oak Cliff was the game we were kind of talking about earlier, about how good of a game they were. Those boys were going back and forth the whole game. I think there was over 6 or 7 lead changes in that game. But South Oak, they were lined up to kick a field goal at the end to tie it. Only thing is they didn't have any timeouts, so they kind of had to rush on the field to kick it, and he hooked it left. And man,
Speaking of timeouts, we'll talk about that later.
yeah, no, we'll get in that with Coach Ervin. But the other one was Smithson Valley. Smithson Valley got their state championship. They were the ones who knocked off Flower Bluff. They were underdogs in this game, correct?
Yeah.
They weren't
were?
picked to win.
They had
No way.
They had never won one.
Yeah, no, they
Huh.
were underdogs.
Yeah,
We were talking about this the other day too.
They had been 5 times at night, but they were 0-5 before this time, apparently.
Isn't the coach the highest paid coach in San Antonio
Up there, yeah.
area?
He's up there.
I thought he had won before.
No, he'd been there 5 times but not won it.
Well, maybe he'll add on to it. Maybe he'll add on to the highest paid coach because just won a state championship. Maybe they give him a little bonus. And the 6A games, I actually watched on Austin Vandergriff and South Lake Carroll game. That was a pretty decent game. Austin Vandergriff kind of edged them out at the end, 24-17. But that team from North Crowley who played Austin Westlake, Jesus, those kids were unbelievable. They were solid everywhere. There's a receiver that's going to Colorado, I believe.
Gibson.
Yeah, he what do you have 2 or 3 touchdowns
Yep.
in the game? Man, you said he's going to play slot receiver, correct?
Yeah, for Colorado. I mean, he's one of those little shifty guys.
Yeah, no, but the whole team, man, they were just fast, big, strong, all the way around. Like Austin Westlake, they'd take a step forward. Well, Crowley would take 2 steps ahead of them. It was just they just stayed on their ass the whole game. But they won 50-21. So the most impressive team there, as far as when you go up in these big schools, I think was North Crowley. And have they been there before? Have they won a few before?
They'd won one, I think, in 2003 is what they had
2003?
said on the broadcast. The left tackle, Turntine, listen for his name. Next year, he's going to be a senior. They say he might be with the top left tackle in the country as far as 5-star guy. They said he's everybody wants him. Everybody.
But yeah, no, that was really what went on with state. Let's get to that interview with Coach Ervin. It's a good one, you guys, and we'll see you on the other side. Okay, joining us today, we got a man who just etched his name in the Ganado, Texas history books. All right, he and the Indians,
Texas high school. history
Texas
book.
high school history books. Also, we'll get to that in a minute. But him and the Indians just capped a dominant playoff run that ended in a showdown with the 5-time state champion Stamford Bulldogs at AT&T Stadium. Okay, you guys may know him as the Ganado Gridiron Guru. the king of Jackson County, ladies and gentlemen, the Ganado Golden Boy. That's my favorite, though. The chief of the 2024 state champion Indians and the youngest head coach to ever win a Texas State football championship. But more importantly, he's our friend, Coach Josh Ervin. Woo! There he is. There he is. How you doing, Coach? How you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for having me back on.
Awesome, man. Thank you for taking the time. We figured you'd be, too busy picking out jewelry. You know what I mean? Maybe popping some bottles. Did you get all past that already? Y'all had a long weekend, huh?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind the past couple days. Just
Yeah.
fly by, blink, and it's over. And now take a little break before working really hard to get ready for next year.
There you go. So has it set in yet, or you're a damn state champion, man. I mean,
Yeah, I think every day something else happens that it's like, wow, it's been a really fun year. A lot of stuff's happened over the past year, and I don't know. Every day it seems like something else is happening, but I think I'm pretty much past that point of it's been fun, but now it's time to start thinking about next year.
yeah, yeah. No, I was gonna tell you guys. I texted him the other day if it had set in yet. Asked him this already. He said he's ready to go get another one already. So
Yeah.
focus is still there. Focus is still
Have
there.
you already moved all the players down from the board and put their replacements up?
Background music,
Yeah.
background music in the back.
It's on the to-do list.
Hell yeah. Okay, so you're ready to get another one. So I gotta ask, how was the whole Walmart parking lot gathering, and when y'all touched down back in Ganado, how the fans and families of the kids react and everything?
Yeah, for sure. So UIL, first off, big thank you to the UIL for what they put on for the kids. I mean, y'all were down on the field, once in a lifetime opportunity for the kids, for everyone. What a beautiful venue AT&T Stadium is. Not a Cowboys fan, but golly, it's breathtaking.
Sure.
And the locker rooms, the training room, everything. It's just amazing. And so big thank you to the UIL for what they put on. So right after the game, they do a pretty good job of allowing us a little bit of time to celebrate, but then kicking us out. So we went across the street to the Walmart parking lot, and the community. It was just awesome to see them all there cheering us on. Whenever we got to the Walmart parking lot, hung out there for about an hour, and then we got back to Ganado. They have the lights flash and they have fireworks popping off. Police escort through 2 or 3 counties. They said there was just police picking up the bus across every county, and just a really special time to be a part of what the kids and what the assistant coaches and myself obviously have worked really hard for over the past year, and it's a fun time to be a part of Ganado.
Yeah, man, y'all deserve every bit of it, man. I thought that was real cool how they put the kids' names on the lockers in the locker room. That was
Oh yeah.
pretty awesome. But yeah, no, they deserve it. They really do. Those kids played hard. How are they taking it? They kind of feel like rock stars now, or they kind of even keel about it.
I mean, I don't know. I ain't seen them. That's the weird thing. So, it's Christmas break already, and you play a whole semester full of football, and so we got back Thursday night and didn't have school Friday, so I haven't even seen the kids. That's the weirdest thing because you're used to seeing them every single day, except for Sundays for 4.5 months, and I haven't seen them for I guess 2 or 3 days now.
Yeah.
But they were really excited after the game. I mean, it's a dream come true. They worked so hard for it over the past 6 years. The senior class since they were seventh graders, and just to see all their hard work come to fruition like this, it's really special.
Yeah, I'm sure they all got home at 9 o'clock all weekend. All got in bed early. No partying went on. Just stayed straight and narrow like they did. Like they stayed focused. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not for sure about that. But no, man, you can't. I can't say enough about those kids. We went to several of y'all's games this year, and sometimes you see emotions, play out through when these kids like say they have a bad play or they get caught not doing their job, which it happens in football. But from what I saw, I mean, they always seemed locked in and like laser focused. They knew what the goal was, and they capitalized on it, man. So you can talk kind of about that, how the kids reacted through every game throughout the season and how they kept that mindset.
Yes, sir, for sure. So that's something that we've kind of always talked about. You can't get too high, can't get too low, and it's tough, especially for teenage kids, not to not to get soaked up into the moment, whether it be a positive and you're really high or negative and really low. And just having that next play mentality of, I mean, we can't control what just happened, good or bad. We learn from it if it's bad. Get ready for the next play, and if it was something good, well, let's go do it again. And I think the state championship game a couple days ago, I mean, there's many opportunities. There was ups and downs throughout the whole game. It's definitely by far the most wild game I've ever been a part of. And then for it to be in the state championship, it's even crazier. But there was many times that, if they do get too low or maybe too high, the outcome's probably not the same. And I thought they did a really good job throughout the game of kind of keeping that even keel, and no matter what happened, just playing the next play to the best of their ability.
Yeah, I was kind of talking about that too. Like throughout this playoff run, which we'll get into in a second, you guys y'all never lost the lead. I think after halftime, through the last 3 games we went to, and
Never been tied.
yeah, they faced a little adversity toward the end there where they did tie, but they got over the hump, and I mean that was clearly probably the best game of the whole state championships. Would y'all say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched them. On TV. After we got back and everything, it was a hell of a game. But no, before we get in the playoff game, we got any other questions about it?
yeah, sure. Hey, Coach. So, obviously, you became the youngest head coach to ever win a state title at 30 years old. Did you know that going into the game, like if that were to happen, or like, did you like know all of that statistic, or like was that something you like kind of maybe knew like going into the season, like, hey man, if I were able to go all the way and do this thing, that I'll be the youngest one, or did somebody kind of bring that up to you?
Man, no, so I actually didn't even hear that, I guess, until the other day someone told me, and so I guess it's a legitimate thing. I'm not sure.
Oh, it was on the big board.
Yeah,
It was on the big board.
I noticed you weren't paying attention though. You were locked in, man. It seemed like it was all white noise to you. It showed you on the big youngest head coach, and you were sitting there, talking away with the other coaches.
In fact, I don't know if I looked up at that big screen, which I mean is huge. It's awesome. Until maybe after the game, finally looked up, and it's crazy how big it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, has I guess honestly, to like, if you really think about it, you're kind of like McVay from the Rams. Like when he like got that young, like was really young, got that job, won it all. Was he the youngest at the time to win the Super Bowl?
I
McVay.
believe so.
He was. I mean, he was up. But like being honest, I mean, I don't know if this is said into you yet, but like, or realize this, but to be honest, you're probably like the hottest name in coaching right now. Like seriously.
He don't want to be nowhere else though.
It's
Ganado's where he's
crazy. So, well, the reason I said I'm like, has Matt Stepp or any of those guys like that reached out to you for like interviews or any of that kind of stuff, or any of those guys that work for Dave Campbell's, none of that stuff like that?
And just y'all, which is cool. That's how I like it. Y'all been here since day one, and so here we are.
Wow, that's crazy to me. I just figured like after that stat that like that whole there's gonna be people knocking on your door for like interviews and all that kind of stuff. Besides just us. But man, that's really cool, man. It's a heck of a. I didn't know that's that stat at the time until they put it on the video board. But that was like extremely cool. A heck of an accomplishment. Did ever like in your wildest dreams think that would happen?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really think about the whole. I don't think about myself a whole lot. So the age, like doing it this young or whatever, don't really think about that. But I did have a really good feeling about Ganado, not just this year, but a couple years ago, and really since I've been here, that Ganado can be a special place. And I think just, man, when you get a special group of kids and some really good assistant coaches, and everyone works really, really hard together, you know what I mean, buys into a vision that good things can happen. And I'm just blessed to be a part of the program right now.
You're staying a little too humble, man. You gotta talk a little more shit. Come on.
Hey, I don't blame him, man. He is.
Yeah, no. Same kind of same person you were at the beginning of the season, man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Y'all come this way, and you stayed the same. That's awesome, man.
Did you at least have like your favorite like victory cigar or favorite beverage or something like that? Or I don't know if you drink or anything, but
I finally I did watch the game on TV a couple nights ago, and that was really fun watching it. I mean, it wasn't, I guess, as nerve wracking because knew it was going to happen, but there we go. Got a Ganado hat. Now you're looking better.
There we go.
But it was pretty cool watching it on FanDuel Sports Network or whatever it's called now. Bally, I don't know. They change the name all the
Yeah.
time.
Sweet.
Gotcha.
You good, Austin? Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Hey, hold on. Hey, coach. I know we were there for the last couple playoff games, and like each coach was like, uh, would give a awesome pregame speech. When you were giving yours, did you have a couple notes down, or did you just freestyle it from the heart?
Man, so yeah, I thought about it all week. What am I gonna say? It's the last time, and I think
Yeah.
that it kind of hit me. I guess it was Tuesday. I was watching film in the office, and it was, I'm not gonna say emotional, but there was a little bit of sadness in a way because I knew no matter what happens, right, it's coming to an end.
Yeah.
And I have been around a lot of every single senior since they were seventh graders, and it's just crazy the development and how much they've matured and gotten better over the 6 years. And it hit me on Tuesday, like, dang man, this is the last time. And obviously, that got over pretty quick, and then it's back to finding a way to try to win a state championship. But I thought about it, but I was so busy with everything else all week that I said, you know what, it's just gonna have to be natural, and whatever happens, happens. I knew kind of what I wanted to say, have the G Spirit flag there,
Yeah.
talk about. I mean, obviously we're playing for each other in this team, but I mean, this a whole community that we have behind us right now, more so than I've ever seen since I've been in Ganado the past 7, 8 years, whatever it's been. And so kind of just spoke from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Best way.
awesome.
Best way to do it.
Yeah.
I like whenever you said like y'all are from here. Like I'm not from here. This is for y'all. Like that got me
And
all.
they bleed maroon more than you do. Yeah.
That got me all shook up. I was like, oh yeah.
Awesome. Let's get into the playoff run. I know you don't have much time, but your first two games y'all got Skidmore and Crawford. Not much to say there. You guys outscored them 134-15 is what I saw, and then sets up the big game against your former district rival Refugio, who y'all lost to district title to last year, but y'all also knocked them out of the playoffs. So this set up kind of like the rubber match of it. So how'd y'all feel going into that game? And did it go as kind of how y'all expected it to go?
Uh, we felt pretty good. We knew it was going to be biggest challenge of the year up to that point. Just watching them on film, really, really talented group, really well coached. I mean, Refugio, y'all know it. They're uh, I think the best South Texas program over the past probably 20 years that there is.
More.
Probably any classification. And so, I mean, just huge respect for Refugio and what they have down there. And we knew it was going to be a really big challenge, and it was going to be a tough game that was going to come down to the end. Uh, and throughout the night, I mean, that's kind of how it was. The final score being 14-6. What a great defensive game. Both teams played great defense. Um, Offensively, they did a good job, kind of slowing us down, and it was just a fun game to be a part of.
Yeah. No, Channel 6 had a big old write up about it before the game. It's like, oh, Refugio looking for revenge and all this stuff. They made a big deal out of it, but oh well, maybe next year. Better luck next year, Refugio. You guys have Marlin next in your regional final, 42-14. Great athletes, great size from what we saw in Marlin. And then after y'all win that one 42-14, that gets y'all back to the state semifinals, which is considered y'all's hump. Getting over the next step is that's where you guys had fallen out of the playoffs last year. So going into that game, knowing that this game gets you to the show, what are they thinking there? Like what's going on there?
Man, just this is where it ended last year. The opportunity that we have this year. And Joaquin, they ran the slot T, so that was a lot different than what we saw last year. Uh, a team that I think they exceeded a bunch of expectations for themselves out in Region Three. And to be honest with you, I really didn't pay much attention all year to what was happening in Region Three. We were just focused on obviously us getting better every week, and then we played Refugio, and then Marlin, and then a lot of people were talking about, I guess it was going to be Honey Grove, and then Joaquin pulled the upset. Upset, what some people say, but I mean, they kind of dominated the game, watching film, and we were just excited for the opportunity, and knowing that last year we were so close to get into the state championship. And Timpson had a great team. Terry Bussey, obviously, but just find a way this year to try and make it past that hump. I think this was the sixth time Ganado's been to the semifinals and never made it past. And
Dang, didn't know that.
on top this year, yes, sir.
That's crazy. A quote you said, I was listening to your speech after that game. You said to the boys after, you had looked at their goals that they had set for this year, and not one of them wrote down, and it says quote unquote, get to the state championship. The quote was winning that thing directly
Yes.
from you. So, I mean, you make it to the big show. Here you are at the state title, youngest coach to ever do. Like he asked you earlier about all that coming up on the screen and everything. Obviously, you're not paying attention to that. Your focus is more on going and winning it. So, you guys are going up against five-time state champion Stamford, I believe. Okay, so during the week, the preparation for that week. I mean, how do you keep these kids from not getting overexcited? Going to play their game. Not getting lost in the moment. I guess you could say.
For sure. I thought that was going to be a big challenge during the Joaquin week, just knowing, I mean, we're either going to win or we're going to lose. And we felt good about it if we go out and play really well, and then we won it. So right after we win, it's like, boom, you shift to the next game, which was the state championship. And that was one of the things that I was a little worried about because we'd never been there before. But I'll say huge credit to our kids. I mean, I felt like after we won the semifinal game, they weren't overly excited. There wasn't this sense of we did it. This is the end of the road. We met the goal, and which is why I told them, reading y'all's goal sheets, y'all didn't say that y'all want to make it to the state championship. Y'all put down that y'all want to win a state championship, and I thought they did a great job. Whether it was the seniors or the captains or the leaders, I don't know if they were talking to each other behind the scenes, but I thought they did a great job of kind of being even keeled all week long. And yeah, we're going to Arlington and we're going to be staying in a hotel and doing all this stuff that we normally don't do. But I mean, the goal's still the same, and that's to win the game that we play this week. And I thought they did a good job of handling the distractions.
Mhm. Hopefully, we weren't too much of a distraction. So,
Yeah.
okay. So I know I'm trying to get through this real quick. So you're moving the locker room. As far as we could tell when we got there, the kids seemed, pretty business as usual. I mean, y'all had an 11 a.m. start, kind of different, obviously, from what you guys have been doing on a Thursday. So what did that affect y'all in any way, or do you think they were just so locked in?
I honestly, I don't think that it did really affect us a whole lot. I thought that they were really, really locked in. We were able to, and I think that it was very fortunate for us that we played that early morning game and we were able to go through our full normal pregame routine time wise. Because had we played at 11 o'clock, or not 11 o'clock, but 3 o'clock, had we played at 3 o'clock or even 7 o'clock, and we had to play after somebody, I don't think that we would have been able to go through the normal routine because we'd have been following someone up. And so I thought we were real fortunate to be able to be the first team in the building that morning and have the time to go through our normal routine.
Oh yeah. Well, y'all set the tone on that game. Best
Hey,
game.
coach, did you get a good night's sleep, or were you up, or did you have to take a melatonin just to get to bed?
I slept probably the best I've slept, honestly, in at least the past month.
Those,
You got
Good.
your new bed at home. That's
Yeah.
what that sounds like.
those courtyard mattresses, man.
Yeah.
It's been a long month.
All right, let's get into the game. So you guys, big stage, big showdown. The city, the town of Ganado, they showed out for you guys. I mean, so much support in the bleachers, so much support, online and everything from everything we saw. They seemed just as excited as you guys did just to be there. So y'all start the game. Y'all get the ball in defense first. You get your big interception by Kane Hayden, kind of set the tone. Who had a hell of a game. I mean, and shined throughout the playoffs. That kid's special.
The MVP.
Yeah, we defensive MVP, and then Bryce caps it off with the big touchdown run, and you take the lead early. So you take the lead early. What goes on after that? What's the game plan after that? Do y'all want to go at him still, or do y'all kind of want to keep the tone where it is?
No, that's something that I really felt like we had to do a good job of, is being aggressive. the entire game because I think they were averaging like 48 points a game. Their defense and our defense is like the same, giving up 10 points a game coming in the game, and I felt like they're a really explosive team who could score from anywhere and who could put together a big long drive, which they did. I know they had an 80-yard drive. I think they had another long drive, and so there was never any, hey, we got the lead. Let's see if we can just run the ball and kind of chew the clock. It was, no, we got to keep being aggressive if we're going to find success because they also had, man, maybe the best run defense out of any team that we played this year. I thought they did a really good job. We were able to get the run going in the second half. But that first half, I mean, they really did a good job against our run. And just hats off to them and their defense. They were really good.
Yeah, no, Logan, Smoke is what they call him. He's used to breaking off them long runs, the whole game. We noticed they contained him pretty well that first half, so which probably is something he's used to. And let me just say this before the kids didn't seem phased, going on that field. They didn't seem phased by it at all, the big stage or anything. It was like it's just normal to them from what we saw. But anyway, so Stanford gets the ball, they answer on the deep pass. And then before halftime, you guys take the lead. Another pass to Kane, Bryce to Kane again. And at halftime, y'all are up 14-7. Okay, so in the locker room, I guess you guys make your adjustments and all that. Does it set in with you at all that you're one half away from being a state champion, or are you still, locked in, loaded, and in the game?
Yeah, I mean, we're locked in, we're loaded, but we knew, I mean, let's go finish it out. We got one more half left. In the same situation, kind of. I mean, I think the score was 14-7. Timpson, it was 21-14 2 years ago. And so we're a half away. We just got to play. And I think I even told the Valley or FanDuel Sports Network, whatever it's called now, I told them we're going to have to play a better second half than we did the first half if we're going to win the game. Uh, and unfortunately, we came out and we didn't play our best that first offensive drive. Stanford made a play, but right after that, we were able to respond in a huge way when we got the ball on the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that was my next thing. Bryce throws that pick coming out of the half, and now here's where some teams could just roll over. You have the momentum going into the half. You have the lead. That happens. They tie you, like we mentioned earlier. You guys hadn't been tied or been trailing at all in the second half. So, I mean, what do you tell Bryce in that moment after they make that play on him? What do you tell him? How do you keep him from getting lost in that moment there?
Just tell them, hey, it's going to be all right. They made a play. I mean, now it's just time to keep going out there and do what we do. And that's where I think it gets back to the don't get too high, don't get too low, next play mentality. And I thought he did a great job, an absolutely great job of responding because on the first play, when we did start way back there on the 5-yard line, the first play they brought a blitz, I think off both edges, and we ran a play action pass and
on a seam.
got rid of the ball in time, and it was a huge play. Had he not, I mean, who knows? Maybe sack, safety. It could have been bad, but he made a great play, great throw, and it got that drive going.
Yeah, it didn't seem phased by it, is what I was going to say. And for the listeners that don't know, this kid, along with a few others, he doesn't ever come off the field. I believe it's Bryce, Logan, Kane, and a few other of them. They don't come off the field other than maybe on kick when you guys kick a field goal. No, they're on kickoff and kickoff.
Yeah, no, he had a huge tackle on kickoff, I think.
Yeah. No, and I know before we continue, like it's crazy because kind of towards the end of the game, these past few games we've been watching you guys. When they do come on the sideline, I notice him and Logan both. Their eyes are all bloodshot. They're just beat. They look like they just been taking a beating the whole game. But I mean, they get right back up, go out there, and it doesn't phase them. I know they're young and everything.
Make plays.
It's good for them, but they continue to make plays. So okay, so is okay, where was that? Okay. So Kane again, he I believe he scores the next touchdown, correct? On when you guys go up 21-7? Is that correct? Yeah, I think that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then talk about the next Stanford drive. You guys had them. I believe there was 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and y'all had them on two long fourth downs. So walk me through that. Walk me through that drive.
actually stopped them. We stopped them on their next drive, and then
Oh,
we drove down and we tried a field goal, but we didn't make it.
okay.
That's right.
After they drove
Yeah.
down
Then,
I got you. Okay.
the
Okay.
fake punt, yeah. So I mean, um, and we felt good. I mean, up to that point, I don't think they driven the field on us, and but they converted. I know that the fake punt. I think it was another fourth down. Overall, they were 5 for 5 on fourth down. Is insane. We were good on third down, but
Yeah.
for whatever
Yeah.
reason, couldn't get them off the field, and they made some really good plays. But yes, they drove down and then they tied it up with I think 5 minutes left to go, and I was just thinking, okay, here we go. This is how it's meant to be. We're gonna get the ball. Let's drive down and end the game.
Yeah, that last fourth down they converted. That was a hell of a play by that kid. That throw, which I think everybody got a little too excited because they had called like an illegal forward pass or something
Yeah.
like that, and then
oh yeah.
yeah, they get that video replay and everything afterwards. So okay, so you guys Stanford ties the game 21-21. You guys drive down. It didn't seem like it messed with your offense's head or anything. So because you guys drove right down the field. Um,
Were you surprised?
yeah, this
This
is
is
what
my this
Austin
is
wants to
my
ask
my
you.
question. In that situation, were you surprised that coach didn't call any timeouts?
Yes, I was thinking that too.
Man, yeah, I really was, and that's why I was kind of okay, cool. Let's we're just gonna keep being
Did it change y'all's game plan at all? Like, oh, if they're not
not
going to call
super
timeouts,
aggressive. We were still gonna be aggressive and try and score, but we were gonna be a little more on the conservative side, just time wise. Um, and and obviously it didn't work out for us in regulation. But I'd say our kicker, Joe Rodriguez. I mean, full confidence in him. He's done great this year. I think I told y'all the first time I was on, which was the day after our first scrimmage. He had made a 50-yarder, and we kicked a 50. I think it was a 50, maybe a high 40, first round of the playoffs against Skidmore, and I think it was just a little off, but it had the leg, and he's been our starter for 2 3 years, and he's just a great kid, a great kicker, and if we had to make the same decision again, we would in terms of kicking the field goal there at the end.
Okay. Yeah, no, I wanted to say something about that. He obviously misses the field goal at the end of regulation, and then that I'm sure that's in his head, looming around his head that he had missed that field goal. It was kind of the same distance as an extra point, but I don't think people realize when you got that going on in your head, he also makes the big field goal in overtime for you guys to go up by 7. So it obviously didn't phase him. I mean, that's his job. You guys have the full confidence in him and everything, and I just thought it took pure guts for him to go out there and drill it like it was nothing. So that was
And if he didn't make it, I mean, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now because obviously they did make their PAT, and hence we went to the second overtime. But yeah, it's a huge kick, and that's what I talked to him before he went out there. Hey Joe, we know you're gonna make it. You're a dog. Go out there and do what you do, and he put it through to get us that big extra point in the first overtime.
yeah. On that score, you guys got in overtime. I didn't notice it until they replayed it on the board, but there was a fumble there right at the goal line. I don't think anybody noticed that. So,
I know.
looking back on that, oh, you knew it.
He's like, I knew it.
Oh my goodness, there's the ball. The ball's on the ground. Yep, and what a great job by Luke Burrish. One of the kids that's pushing the quarterback in for the tush push, being able to see the ball on the ground and dive on it. What a great play by him! Because I mean, if he didn't make that, oof, we'd be talking about something different too. But I mean, before that was when Bryce pulled the inside zone when the DN crashed and he kind of helicoptered a little bit in the air,
Oh
and
yeah.
oh,
He
they
was
said
in.
that was
He
enough
was
to
in.
overturn it. I don't know.
He was in.
Yeah, he kept his hand on the
Yeah,
ground. His
yeah,
forearm didn't go
yeah,
down.
forearm did not go down.
Yeah.
It was all on Facebook and everything. Like, how's that not a touchdown?
Yeah, no, I saw it. They had posted it on there too that
Yeah.
said touchdown or no. But no, that was an awesome play. But no, I noticed that too. It's you see that ball on the ground. I mean, how does that work? If there's no clear recovery, obviously you guys get the ball back. I don't even know if the ref saw it. Did the ref see it?
No, the rest didn't see it. Now I'll say a big kudos to whoever's up top, whether it got to be someone working with Tasso, the officiating crew. They're really really quick to call down on that instant replay stuff. I mean, it was immediate, boom, calling down, and insane because I don't know how anyone up there saw it. I guess they're watching on TV, but I don't know. Great job by Luke recovering it. He did clearly recover it, and he was also down outside of the end zone. But it just set up our little fake tush push play the next play. So
Gotcha. Okay, and so second overtime, you guys obviously go for the field goal again. Didn't work out that time, so y'all go into the third overtime where it's college rules where you're doing 2-point conversions.
Did the kids know that?
Yeah, the kids knew that, I believe.
no, they didn't.
They didn't
He goes,
know
no,
that?
they didn't. See, we kind of called that.
No way. So they thought it was just a regular overtime then.
To be honest with you, I didn't even know. I didn't know it was third and fourth. I knew it was coming up. I didn't know. I didn't know exactly when, and I had to ask the coach. I was like, "Hey, is this where it's 2-point conversion, sudden death, or is that the next one?" And they were like, "No, that's right now."
Damn.
All right, here we go.
Hey, coach, have they ever run that last 2-point conversion, like that Philly special? Do you ever see that on film?
Stanford, no sir, we did
Way to
not.
ruin the ending, Scott.
Yeah.
Golly.
Oh shoot, sorry.
Hey, jumping back real quick, that fake tush push for the touchdown was, I think, your best offensive play call
Ballsy.
tonight.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
awesome.
great.
That
He
was a hell
walked
of
in
a
there.
play call. I mean, honestly, I didn't think you were going to go back under center after that, after fumbling the snap on the quarterback. I was like, well, maybe he's going to go shotgun again because maybe they're not used to going under center.
Yeah.
You call it. I was like, dude, it was wide open. That was a hell of a call.
Yeah, kids did a great job executing it. We've worked it all year long for whenever we had the situation of running it, and they did a great job executing it.
Was that the first time it was called, or did y'all do that earlier?
First time this year it was called, yes, sir. We ran it.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, so you in the third overtime, obviously, I mean, you have one play to call. Okay, so is that play you guys called just one of y'all's regular average plays, or is it something you drew up in the moment, or something you had in your back pocket, or is it just y'all just kind of went with it?
So that's a play also that we practiced all year long just for this situation. It was our 2-point play all year. We haven't went for two all year, to my knowledge, or a really important 2-point conversion where I wanted to throw this play out the window, and so I mean there was no question what the play call was going to be, and I think that's why Bryce and the kids had the confidence to go out and execute it so well because we practiced it every week all year.
Yeah, what a catch too by Austin Pena too. What a grab, man.
Yeah, great. It's going to be teach film forever for the rest of the time I'm coaching.
Yeah, no, we were right there when it happened. I mean, it was a fingertip catch. I mean,
It was a hell of a
man,
catch.
I'd say probably not too many kids can make that play. Goes up for it, high points the ball, has the wherewithal to get his feet down. I mean, holds on through it to the tackle. I mean, that's pure grit right there. Okay, so you guys get your 2-point conversion, 30-28. Y'all are up. Stamford, they got one chance right there. What's going through your mind? What's going through your mind before that ball gets snapped? What are you thinking? Are you thinking let's stop them, we got a state championship, or you just in the moment?
Yeah, I'm in the moment, but I'm also thinking, man, we got to stop them because if we don't, golly, we got to do this again. And I don't know what play we're gonna run off the top of my head. And so, really, just hoping that we'd have made a good play and found a way to win it right there. And we did. Ben Sablature did a great job bumping the quarterback as he was trying to come out the backfield, and Bryce was able to kind of pick him up. Then Vince went and got in the quarterback, or not the quarterback, but I guess the receiver, whoever was throwing the ball, his face, and then Bryce did a great job going up and making the catch.
Yeah, that was a great play by Bryce because I saw him. He hit the quarterback coming out of the backfield and everything, and it almost seemed like he was going to go for the guy throwing the ball too. But I think at the last second he realized what the play was, and same thing, high point of the ball. What a catch! What a way to win it. Actually,
that's when we thought, like, oh yeah, they didn't realize it was over because we're all on the sidelines, like throwing our hands up, freaking running, and like,
yeah, I got grabbed by a security guard and pushed back because I got too close on the field. But I didn't know if you guys knew that was the end because when they caught the kid,
he's like,
when
oh,
Bryce caught the ball, he just kind of stood there for a second, and then the celebration started and everything. But what goes through your head at that moment? I saw you throw your headset. I saw you just pumped up at that time, man. How did that feel? How did that moment feel?
Man, that was the craziest moment, I think, and just watching it on the TV, reliving it, makes me smile every time. Everything just flashes before your eyes. State champions, um, we did it, and I just can't tell you how proud I am for all the kids, the assistant coaches, the managers that help out, just everyone that's a part of the Ganado football program. All the hard work that we put in all year. Paying off in the end.
Awesome, man. So kind of bittersweet though, as you said, because you got quite a few seniors that are going to leave, like you said earlier. We know whether or not win or lose, it's kind of their last game. Talk about those guys. Talk about how much they mean, and how are they how's the rest of the team taking that as far as your older classmen leaving.
Yes, sir, for sure. I think we have 16 seniors that have been around for the past 6 years, and the legacy, the mark they'll leave on Ganado football forever. I mean, bringing the first state championship to Ganado, they're going to be missed in more ways than one because they were all great leaders. They were captains. They set the tone for the entire program day in day out. And without them, obviously, this wouldn't be possible. And we're gonna miss them a lot. I know though that they all have great futures. They're gonna be great members of society and whatever they end up doing. We're here to support them along the way. I can't wait to see them when they come back to watch the future Ganado football teams. And I think what they did this year is I know it's gonna uh, kind of carry down the legacy that they're leaving. And I'm excited for the future and seeing what's coming up here in Ganado. They said it was like 96 years that we've been playing football, and this is the first state championship. But I honestly believe it won't be another 96 before Ganado's playing for another state championship, whenever that may be. And
Hell yeah.
I think the future is very bright here, and a big part of it is the legacy that this senior class is leaving.
Yeah, and I was talking to Mr. Green on the sideline before the game, and I thought that was great. That it's good for those younger kids, even below seventh grade, sixth grade, that you guys made it there. You guys started something there. They'll buy into what's going on there, and I think this is going to help for years to come. And that was better. That was better. You weren't so humble there. This ain't the last time. It ain't gonna be another 96. It ain't gonna be another 96 years. You're right on that one. You got anything?
Hey, Carthage went 10 for 10. You can't go 10 for 10 without going 1 for 1.
There you go.
Right? That's right.
So how's it? Have they turned their pads in and all that stuff yet, or y'all are waiting on that? No film session the next day.
That no film session. Told the kids y'all have a great Christmas. And we'll see y'all when y'all get back in January. Haven't picked up the pads. It's the craziest thing. Because usually, I mean, you're already ready for off season at this time, and I mean, golly, the locker room. I'm not gonna say it's a mess, but I'm looking outside at it right now. There's helmets hanging everywhere and cleats in the locker still, shoulder pads, and a lot of work to be done come January to get stuff ready for the off season. But I mean, I guess what a great situation. You would rather it be like this than the opposite. But when we get back in January, we'll clean everything up and start working towards 2025.
Is it kind of a weight off your shoulders now that it's over with and y'all achieved the goal, or like you said, are you putting the weight right back on and wanting to go for the other one?
I think a little of both. It was definitely and that was a good word, relief. Whenever we ended up winning the game at the end, because you do put so much time and there is that pressure to go out and win every single week, and so it is. It's relieving. Yeah, we're happy, but it also is a relief that we were able to finish the season the way we wanted to. But I think, yeah, here pretty soon, I mean, the pressure is going to start coming back, which is what I like, and I think that's what we all like, and that's why we do it, to be the best team that we can be next year also.
Awesome. Okay, y'all got any other questions?
Last couple of things, man. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Don't be surprised if they Ganado they give you a Josh Ervin Boulevard. Y'all earned it.
Go ahead.
So you got any plans over the Christmas break, man? Anybody you a barbecue guy? You like to barbecue, or what do you like to do? Deer hunt, anything like that?
Yeah, no, I do like to barbecue. So I know one of these days I'm gonna finally get to fire up the pit for the first time in a few months since summer, and be able to relax doing that. And besides that, man, I think just kind of hanging out with the family. Good to be able to see my kids um, all day for the first time in 4.5 months, and I know they're excited. And be able to go to Bay City, see my parents for the first time since summer, also, which is good. And so, kind of just be able to take a breath, take a step back, and I guess rejuvenate a little bit before ramping it right back up here in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, looking forward to the off season.
Or you can just come up here and be a guest host on the show with us.
Hey, we got to get you up here, man. Have a new Braunfels weekend. Bring your wife,
Yeah,
man.
no, I was going to ask you. Scott had a good idea if we could possibly make it to Ganado to kind of interview the kids, if that was okay with y'all and their parents. Is that something we can do?
Yeah, it might be. We'll just have to talk about it and see if we can line everything up. But I'm sure they'd like that.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry we kept you for this long, but I just wanted to say one more thing. As far as us goes, we wanted to thank the community of
Yes.
Ganado and you guys for accepting us and letting us be a part of it. I guess you could say, if y'all consider us a part of it, it might have been a kind of a good luck charm, maybe, maybe,
I've,
maybe.
I've never been to Dallas Stadium where my team that I was rooting for has lost.
Yeah,
So
and like you said, you weren't a Cowboys fan, but the Packers kind of own that stadium
yeah,
if you think about it.
Oh,
So
people were talking shit to us outside the stadium. Like, hey, enjoy this.
yeah. But no, we wanted to thank you guys. We tried to do as much as we could for you guys. We made making the videos and stuff like that. Sorry we didn't get too many good clips because we were so into the game and everything. But I mean, it was a fun ride. It was a fun ride to be a part of, and thanks again for allowing us to do it, man. And hopefully next year we'd love to go watch y'all again next year and maybe be a part of another one. Who knows?
Yes, sir, for sure. Nah, thank y'all so much for everything over the year. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun seeing y'all out at the games the last few weeks. And I know the kids, the community, they really love those videos that y'all make. Really, really cool. And anytime y'all want to come back out, just let me know. It's been
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. Well, I got one more question for you. I asked you this, and I made a video about it. What do you got to say to the people online that said that it was a one-time thing last year? Now,
Let me take this. Fuck them.
yes,
Fuck them all.
yeah,
Fuck them all.
that sums it up. I think. Good answer, Austin. We got you here. I made a deal with Coach Ken, the baseball coach. I told him if you guys win, I was gonna get the logo tattooed on me. So I got to make good on that. I'll send you a picture of when I'm done.
There you go. Yes, sir.
But hey, do y'all got anything else? Y'all good?
good.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the year.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate everything you guys did. Y'all enjoy it. I mean, and we're looking forward to next year. And man, y'all keep it up. Y'all got something special going on there. And keep them boys in line. Keep let the younger ones know what them older ones were all about when they took it this far that they did this year.
Yes, sir, for sure. Thank y'all so much, and Merry Christmas.
Yes,
Merry
sir.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Coach Josh Ervin. Everybody. All right, Coach. We'll see you. Thanks.
See ya.
All right. What an interview. What an interview by
yeah.
Josh Ervin. Man, how do you think that guy feels right now?
Oh, dude.
I know he's real calm. He's a calm dude. I know he's saying he wants to go get that second one. I know you kind of have to say that, but I mean, inside he's like so excited for this.
If I just had Christmas break coming like that, like he does, I'd be getting tanked every day.
Yeah, what you were saying earlier, he wouldn't tell you if he had a celebratory favorite drink or cigar or anything, but
Yeah.
Either way, we do that anyway. So
right. Hey, we can get.
we didn't win state.
Hey, let's get him up here to New Braunfels.
Come on.
We'll get him his favorite celebratory. You come up here, Coach. You're welcome anytime in the studio. Humble guy, humble dude, man. I hope those kids make it back because he can lead them if anybody else can. But what a great day for the community of Ganado. Also, I mean, great fans.
How are you feeling during the game?
Huh?
How are you feeling during the game?
I felt good most of it. Whenever they were lining up to kick the field goal, I thought for sure he would make it. And at the end of regulation, because he drills his extra points, and we hadn't seen him kick a field goal all year because they score touchdowns, but the distance of the field goal was just as long as an extra point, but it was on the hash.
Yeah.
So he's used to kicking it just straight forward on the hash right there. I'm sure if they could go back, they would have ran a play, toward the middle of the field. That way he could have had a straight on shot. But when they missed that field goal, I know a lot of people celebrated because they thought he made it and kind of dropped everybody down a little bit. But at that point, I was kind of nervous because I was like, man, this is overtime. And it's pretty much 0-0 right now. Anybody can win. So, but like I said in the interview, that it takes some stones for that kid to go out there and make that extra point that they needed. And he said it himself. We wouldn't be having this conversation had he had not gone out there and make that extra point with that in his head that he had already missed 2 field goals. And then in overtime, too, the coach had said he had kicked a 50-yarder against Skidmore. So, and I probably shouldn't have done it, but their quarterback, Oldman, Bryce was coming off to the sideline, and they called for a field goal. And I had asked him, I said, hey, can he make this? And they were confident in him also. And Bryce just said, yeah, he can make it. He can make it. And they were ready for the guy to make it. It was almost like they were, we got this. But I mean, it worked out for him. But
my question was like, how did you feel during the whole game?
during the whole game,
yes,
I felt good because they were the better team.
Not emotion wise, how.
Yeah,
how did
no, I had like some butterflies and stuff, but they were the better team. They controlled most of the game, I would say. And it seemed like anytime they were about to go up by 2 scores, it's like they just couldn't execute. That maybe like one play during a drive, a crucial play, they just didn't execute that play, and Stamford would come back, tie the game. But they were clearly the better team. It's just any other day, I think they could have beat this team, by 10, 20 points. So,
but not being from there, how did you feel emotion wise?
You asked that in the first place.
No.
No,
you're happy.
Yeah, no. The people of Ganado have accepted us. So, yeah, I went to that game as if I was a fan from Ganado.
Shaking, freaking.
Yeah, I was
watching the game.
Yeah, you were there. I was getting a little too excited. The coaches had to tell me several times to get off the field.
That's what I'm asking.
I was well into it, and yeah, I got yelled out probably 2 or 3 times to stay off the field or get back. But I mean, it was the last game of the season. Can't hold anything back. You know
Dustin,
what I mean?
How'd you feel?
One thing was cool. It was the going up to the stadium. They were all saying "Hey, y'all the podcast guys!"
Yeah,
even in the hotel.
That was cool.
Yeah,
y'all the podcast guys.
There's the Fade or Follow crew, is what they said.
They're like everybody was just real appreciative,
and you can hear them in the bleachers saying it too.
Yeah,
so
everybody was just real appreciative of us. For the coverage. I was talking to Noe Guerrero, his brother-in-law. And he's kind of commented and interacted with the show. But he's just saying, man, nobody really gives us any coverage. Like Houston's kind of far. We just kind of sit right in the middle between Victoria and Houston, and we just don't really get.
They're like
coverage.
A dead zone pretty much, and they're just out of reach of the coastal bend, so they don't really get
that either.
So when Refugio and Ganado are playing, everybody's more on Refugio's side because they're kind of in the coastal bend area.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a good day for South Texas, man. They were the furthest south of anybody that was there.
Yep.
So, the drive for Stamford was only, 2 hours at the most? Or hour and a half? 3 hours?
Ganado was 5 or 6, and they were 3.
190 miles.
Yeah. So, I mean, hell, if anything, Stamford had the home field advantage. But, man, the kids showed up. I'm excited for those kids because they earned it, man. And another thing I told them, we've gone to games before, and sometimes we see guys on the sidelines pissed off and throwing fits and all that shit, but that never happens with them. They like you said, they got the next play mentality to where they can look past that kind of stuff and move on to the next one. But great for them, man. I hope they get back to it next year, and we're gonna be following them again next year. Some guy commented and said, hopefully y'all don't leave us next year or something like that. Yeah. No, we're not going nowhere, man. We're still here. Anybody from South Texas, so we got you. College football playoff. We had 4 games this weekend. Are you ready to admit Dustin, Alabama should have been in it? Yeah, you are.
Absolutely. Here we go.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Not. Absolutely not.
Dude, You can't
Alabama
tell
should
me-
not have been in that playoff.
Okay, well, Alabama, SC, Ole Miss, they would have gave Penn State a better game than what SMU gave them.
How do we know
I
that?
think y'all all know that.
How do we know that?
Y'all know. Y'all know.
Oklahoma beat Alabama, smoked them. 6 and they were, at the time they had won 5 games,
Okay, they had a bad game.
and they got smoked.
Alabama had a bad game.
And they had 3 losses.
SMU had a bad game.
Sorry,
Hey,
Alabama did not deserve to be in.
SMU had a bad game at the
maybe
wrong-
they
at the
didn't
wrong time.
deserve it, but you can't say the committee's not. Alabama was the first team out. The analysts, all of us, thought Alabama was going to get in over SMU.
Yep.
Okay, so the committee's going to look at that decision next year if there's a situation like that, and I think they're going to go with the 3-loss Alabama over an SMU-like team with 2 losses.
So here's my question then: if an NFL team gets smoked in the first round of the playoffs,
We already talked.
do they
about
not?
this.
No, we haven't. Not on the podcast.
Okay.
Do they not deserve to be in the playoffs now?
Well, I'll say what I told you. In the NFL, there's no voting. It's earned because they're all professionals. They're all going against normal competition in the season. Okay. Now, SMU is in the ACC. I get that, but they didn't have a very rough schedule in the ACC.
Correct. I agree.
Okay, so that's what's being voted on. Now, if you look at the NFL and 2 teams have the same record, what do? They go off of not district, conference
Division.
and all that. Yeah, division record and all that. If they were to go off of a committee to vote those in, they would clearly pick the better team.
Well, I will say this though: the Packers are at a disadvantage this year in the NFC North because the division is much tougher than other divisions. Right or wrong?
Absolutely.
Okay, so a team like the
Bucks.
the Texans or the Bucks can get in over a team that maybe is the Packers, as in this instance, as of right now, this moment, could maybe get in over the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's fair?
Well, what's the difference between
Yes.
those 4 conference
that's
winners?
Yep.
Like those
How is
4
that fair?
Do you think Arizona State's better than Texas?
Yeah, they're the 4th seed.
Yeah, but do you think Arizona State's better than Texas?
Oh, no.
Okay, well then why did they get the first round bye?
Well, because that's how they was set up.
As of record.
Exactly. That's how the
Because
playoffs
of
are
the
set
rec-
up.
as of
though.
record.
That's just how it is.
And
Well, that's what I'm saying, though.
I know,
It's
we-
like the Packers versus the Bucks. Who's the better team? Is the easier path to get in?
Those
Yeah,
are kinda
don't-
tough one to
don't-
answer
yeah,
right
don't-
now.
Don't ask that. Yeah. Don't ask
The
us
Bucks
that.
are good. The Bucks aren't
Okay,
bad.
the Packers versus the Texans.
They're in a different division. They're in a different conference.
I know, but they're still
Well, we only beat the Texans by 1 point.
one has an easier path than the other. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe.
To the playoffs.
But if you want better games, more viewership, more eyes on the game. Everybody stopped watching that game at halftime, probably. Then I think they need to consider what happened to SMU. Okay?
It definitely needs to be considered. But
Yeah. Now the other 3 games, I mean, I know they were kind of blowouts too, but you could make the argument that Indiana probably shouldn't have been there, but they only lost 1 game, so you can't take Indiana out.
well, they only lost by 10 too in the
Yeah.
end.
And I know the whole Tennessee thing. I know we talked about Tennessee, and I thought they were boring or anything, but y'all had talked me into thinking Tennessee was going to win.
Who's y'all? There's one guy that talked you into it.
I did.
Him
I
and
thought
Scott.
Okay, 2 guys.
Scott kind
2
of talked
guys,
me into
okay.
it too. And then you can't forget that Tennessee plays in arguably the best conference, and
what people think is
what people think is the best conference in the NCAA, and they got smoked last night.
yeah.
The score ended up being 42-17, but they couldn't do anything.
No.
Ohio State looked like they were playing against their JV team out there. All 4 home teams covered, actually. And right before that Ohio State game, I texted the group. All 4 home teams have covered. Should I take the home team? And Scott just said, no. No, you shouldn't. Ruined everything. Ruined the bet that I placed, everything. So, hey.
So then does Tennessee not deserve to be in? That's what I'm saying. Like, we can just go on and on with it.
No, I know. I know. I never said they didn't deserve to be there. I just said I thought they were boring. And it doesn't. They played a hell of a team. They played a damn good team. They played Ohio State.
Ohio State
Who looked like dog shit versus Michigan.
probably the second or third favorite to win the whole thing.
I think they're going to win it.
I think so too. But I would have taken Ohio State to win it when we did our predictions. But like I said, I listened to the fucking devils in my ear saying Tennessee was so good, so I took Tennessee to beat them. If I could go back, yeah, I think Ohio State is good. I do think Will Howard can't be trusted though, because he has good games and bad games. I think Ohio State should have kept Kyle McCord. because Kyle McCord tore it up at Syracuse this year. I mean, he lit it up. Like, he had great stats this year. But, I mean, Will Howard was one of those transfer portal quarterbacks that, I mean, one of the top ones, I think.
Yeah.
So.
But he tore it up in the ACC, a crap conference, according to you.
You're right. Yeah, you got me there. So what?
I stand by that. It is a crap conference.
It is. I don't disagree. It's not a very good conference.
Yeah. So what was the closest game? The Clemson Texas game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one in the Indiana game was 10 points.
Oh yeah, but that was a trash time touchdown kind of
was
for Indiana. But I had taken Clemson for that. I figured Clemson would cover, and of course they get stopped at the 1 yard line for a backdoor cover. And man, that Texas defensive line, that defensive line is special, man. They're good.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably their strength, is their defense there. Those are grown men playing against. Boy, they could get no push. Clemson couldn't get any push as far as that went. Now,
would you tell everyone to put their money on Texas right now to win the national championship, Dustin?
I'm more bought into Texas after seeing that yesterday.
They are the favorite right now to win it all.
Are they?
Yeah, they're the favorite to win it all right now, which scares me. Because being a fan, because
they were able to run the ball yesterday. They didn't have to really rely on Quinn Ewers yesterday.
Because people hop on the Texas bandwagon the second they win. It's like the Cowboys. Like, when the Cowboys win a game, everybody thinks they're amazing. Like, it's the same thing with Texas. Like, if they win a game, like, oh crap, Texas is unbelievable. Yeah. And then like the public money comes in on them, and now they're the favorite to win the title. Like,
my only thing is Ohio State has to play Oregon, right?
Yeah.
Again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
in the Rose Bowl. Though.
They're going to knock each other out, and
like, I feel like that would have been a great championship game.
Yes.
Had they aligned that up, but Texas has got the favorable path. I mean, they're going to end up playing
Arizona
if
State.
Oregon beats Ohio State or Ohio State beats Oregon. They're going to be playing in Texas
in the Cotton Bowl
for that semifinal. So they have the easiest path to victory as far as the playoff goes, and maybe that's why they're a favorite.
Besides maybe Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State.
They look good. They look good.
Yeah, Penn State goes against Boise State. Boise State's been there before, so you never know. Boise State could possibly pull that off, but I don't see it happening.
I see the upset.
You see Boise State win? Well, yeah, you thought Indiana was going to beat Notre Dame too. So,
I said it yesterday.
Yeah.
Indiana will not win the national championship ever.
You did not say that. You said over and over.
Your pick was for Indiana to win the national championship.
You did. You kept saying, like, I said it here. Indiana's going to win the national championship.
No.
You said that over and over. I wanted it to be true, to be honest, other than the Texas part of it, because I do enjoy, like, the story of Indiana and Kurt Cignetti and all that. But
y'all don't like Notre Dame though?
No, that's who I picked to win it because everybody was on Oregon.
They did. Their defense flies the ball, dude. Like, every time Indiana bounced it wide, their defense was like all over them. Like, they didn't have a chance to.
Yeah, no, Notre Dame's defense looked really good. Their running back is a beast, man. That kid can go.
Right? Last name Love.
I believe it is. But they were playing against Indiana. Not taking anything away from Indiana, but I mean,
number one rush defense in the country.
They were? I thought Texas was.
Mm-mm.
No, they're not.
Indiana is.
I mean, if you did that on them, who knows? And go back to Texas real quick. There's rumblings that Quinn Ewers may come back for another year, and supposedly Notre Dame is one of the favorites to sign him.
Yeah, $9 to $10 million a year.
Okay,
for 1 year.
What were the three? Was Ohio State one of them?
Nah, the only thing I've heard is Notre Dame.
Notre
Dame supposedly is offering him.
I heard
to come
Oregon
back.
also.
Okay,
I heard Oregon possibly could be a place for him because Dylan Gabriel's gonna be gone after next year. So
he'll make more money doing that than he will in the pros. First few years. To be honest,
I would do it if I was him. I mean, you don't have the pressure of Arch Manning breathing down your neck and everybody in the bleachers saying "put Arch in." So, hey,
what I think Texas has already told him, like, we're moving on to Arch. Like, this is it. Like, kind of like how Oklahoma did to Dylan Gabriel last year.
That's kind of a shitty thing to do.
Made the wrong decision, obviously, but
yeah, that's kind of a shitty thing to do, being that he's led you to 2 college football playoffs. To just tell him go and get out of here.
So what? You've been in freaking college 8 years. Go be a doctor.
I get it.
God damn.
I get it.
Get out of here.
If Quinn Ewers came back, I mean, they would be good. Texas would still be good.
Yeah. Why waste Arch?
Yeah. No. I understand. I understand why he's leaving. He's clearly probably not as wanted, but I mean,
and if he can make $10 million,
it is time to move on to Arch. It is
because
they got three solid more years of Arch Manning, so they can kind of build off of that.
Did he redshirt?
Who?
Arch.
Yeah, he did.
So he's
last year. He did.
And the way things are going now, he could possibly get a fourth year of eligibility too.
Nah, there's no COVID year. We're out of that.
Well,
hopefully.
I mean, there's guys that are winning appeals to do
yeah.
their 8th year in college. So, yeah.
Speaking of, do you see the Oklahoma quarterback Jackson Arnold got $2.4 million to go to Auburn for 1 year? That's unbelievable.
He's terrible.
He got $2.4 million to go to Auburn.
Oh, that's not good. Tyreek Hill just scored. But
That's what I'm saying. He's getting that, and then apparently Quinn's getting 9 or 10 if he goes to Notre Dame.
yeah, no. I also heard too that if you go to JUCO, those years don't count anymore either.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can go play 2 years at JUCO. You can get 4 to 5 years. So you're looking at 25, 26-year-olds playing
Diego
college
Pavia.
football. Yeah.
He's the one. He won the appeal on
Well,
that.
Bowman, too, from Oklahoma State. I believe he's going to
okay.
be 26, 27 also.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that guy from Oklahoma State back in the day?
Brandon Whedon.
He was all bald
He
already.
was like 31 years old.
He was our age.
He started college late though, right? He went to the pro baseball.
Yeah, he
for a
played
little bit?
baseball in the minors, I believe, and then came back.
Yeah.
But as any of those games stick out to y'all? I mean, anybody take anything away from those as far as any of them teams that could go on a run possibly?
So do
Ohio
you think
State?
Ohio State's going to win it all now?
I think so.
I
I think.
you rescind the Notre Dame pick.
Well, no, I think. Well, they'll end up playing each other in the semis if they both win. But yeah, I would take Ohio State over Notre Dame. Yeah.
Okay.
And Tennessee's defense is good, man. Like, I mean, I get it. Ohio State had the home field advantage, but that's the only thing I did notice about Tennessee was I knew their defense was good because they were holding these SEC teams to low scoring games. But to give up 21 like that in the first 7-8 minutes of the game, I mean, that thing was over before halftime. So.
I think Ohio State finally got over the whole we're tough and we have to run the ball early in the game.
Yeah, no.
That was what killed them against Michigan. They were convinced we got to be tougher than everybody. Now they're throwing it and using their weapons.
Yeah, I was watching the game last night at work and I was talking shit about Will Howard to my partner I was working with. I said I don't know why they got that guy. They should have kept McCord, this and that. Fucking next play, 40-yard touchdown. And I'm like, yeah, he's good. He's okay. I mean, but he's not what Kyle McCord is. Boom. Another touchdown.
Another touchdown.
It was just, yeah, it's like he heard me. So I am going to pick Ohio State, and I'm going to keep talking shit about Will Howard. Maybe that'll work out.
Whoever wins that game, I think, is going to win it.
Oregon, Ohio State? Yeah, I believe so, too.
They'll beat Texas and win it.
Yeah.
In the semifinal?
No, they're going to beat
Notre Dame never had.
They're going to beat Arizona State.
Notre Dame's been, deep in the playoff before. And they just can never win it all.
And that's why I don't think Penn State can do it either.
Yeah, Penn State actually, yeah, they're not good at winning the big games. Their record, I believe, was 2-7 against the spread, and they were 0-9 against teams that were ranked ahead of them. I believe the stat was. James Franklin has been asked to move up to the pros and stuff like that. I know that there's been, I wouldn't say job offers, but asked to interview.
Yeah.
And he's turned them down, so he must love it there. But I thought that was great for Penn State and their home crowd there that they got to host a playoff game. That was good for them. And it worked to their advantage. Kevin Jennings, he just had a bad. He's a good quarterback. He is a good quarterback, but I think he just had a bad day. And step up in competition too, like you said, ACC, kind of a shitty conference, probably the worst of the top 4.
Big 12's pretty shitty.
Yeah, maybe.
It's one of the two. It's the Big 12 or the ACC. That's the worst.
But
I don't know who, but
they put up points all year, SMU, and they could score fast. But like I said before, Penn State, you're going against a pro defense, pro offense. It's going to be a big step up in competition. And you got to remember, SMU just came to the ACC, not long ago. Was it just their first year? This was their first year. Yeah. So that's impressive. They made it to the playoff their first year in the ACC. Do you think Miami would have given Penn State a better game?
Yep.
No. I think Miami would have scored more points, but I think it would have been something like 60 to 40 something or 60 to 30 something. Just because I think Cam Ward makes a bit of a difference.
yeah.
As far as coulda, woulda, shoulda, Alabama versus Penn State, who wins?
Penn State.
Alabama.
I'll be the tiebreaker. Alabama, you lose.
I'm starting to think the Big Ten was the best conference this year.
Alabama versus Ohio State.
For sure, it was.
I think it's better than the SEC.
Does Alabama beat Ohio State? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah,
Ohio State, no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm
Either.
saying Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the best conference. I don't know. We'll see. But
I think Alabama Texas would have been a good game, but hey,
Somehow Georgia makes it in there and they freaking win.
yeah.
It's all gonna be like, hey, SEC, SEC, SEC.
Okay, so next week, the playoff continues. What do we have for next week?
it starts Friday.
Friday, yeah.
No,
Does it start Friday? No, it
sorry,
doesn't.
Tuesday. So it's they push it to the New Year's. It's like you get a little break. It's like they push it to New Year's Eve is what they do. So we got Penn State and Boise on New Year's Eve.
Who's favored?
Penn State's a 10.5-point favorite. That's in the Fiesta Bowl. Then we got
Penn State's 10.5-point favorite.
yep
Damn.
in the Fiesta Bowl. And then we got Texas and Arizona State in the Peach Bowl on New Year's Day. That is a 12 o'clock kickoff.
That's the second game.
Yes.
Texas at Arizona.
It's
State.
the next day, though. It's New Year's Day at lunch. 14-point favorite.
So we're all gonna be dead by then.
And then 4 o'clock is Ohio State and Oregon on New Year's Day. In the Rose Bowl, Ohio State's a 2.5-point favorite.
Ooh.
Yep. And then
Notre Dame and
we
Georgia.
got Notre Dame and Georgia is at 7:45 that night, and Georgia is a 1.5-point favorite.
take Notre Dame all day.
Dude, I was about
In
to
the
say that.
it's in the Sugar Bowl, down in SEC country.
In New Orleans?
Yeah, I think Notre Dame wins just
But-
because their defense is so good and there's a backup quarterback. But
And it's a night game.
yeah, so we'll pick those games when it gets a little bit closer. But I mean, I would say most of those are the better teams.
Like the spread
Yeah.
is accurate, as we were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the Notre Dame Georgia.
Yeah, like only one I'm thinking about taking is 10.5 points. Because Penn State,
For Boise, yes.
when they play a good team, they don't score that many points. They're a run heavy offense, and they did score 2 touchdowns on pick sixes. So I can see Boise State covering that, not winning, but possibly covering.
How's their run defense?
Boise's,
No,
they,
Penn State's.
Penn State's run is good. They have a good defense. They have a good run defense.
So Genty's not going to run wild?
He'll get his, is what I'll say. He'll get his, but is that enough? Texas 14 points against Arizona State. Like, I don't know what to do there.
Give me Arizona State all day.
Yeah.
Or the spread, not the win.
Yeah.
Give me the spread.
Okay. Well, I thought Clemson would cover that, but apparently not.
They're close.
And then Ohio State -2 at Oregon. I think I'm gonna go with Ohio State. I think I'm gonna take them to cover and win. And Notre Dame Georgia. Yeah, I'm gonna go Notre Dame money line there.
Dang.
I'm opposite of all of yours.
But
Opposite of all your picks.
yeah, no. I mean, we're talking to the guy who took Alabama. So I mean Indiana. Sorry.
They're out now, dude. Hey, that's in the past.
That's right.
I'm gonna.
This is a new week.
No, I was just about to say though. We'll look at it the next week and
We'll make picks then.
yeah, we'll study it a little bit before we do that. But just going off of this, yeah, that's what I think would happen.
I say go back to what
I didn't
said.
watch enough Arizona State football to know how good they are. So
They turn it on at the end of the season.
Texas,
They have a good offense.
Yeah, that's right. Scadaboo's a stud, the running back.
okay, well, NFL, Cowboys are eliminated from the playoffs. Dustin,
That's right, baby. Woo!
yeah, let's start working on the offseason. Hell
right.
yeah,
Nope.
Us and the Niners, we took them down with us, baby.
yeah.
Cowboys
Love
about to go on a 3-game winning streak.
You're probably right.
For some freaking reason.
Yeah,
We'll beat the Bucks tonight.
Yep.
You think?
yeah, they
beat
ain't got
the-
nothing to lose.
Beat the Eagles and go beat the freaking Commanders.
There you go.
Yeah. Not much to talk about.
Get you another top 20 draft pick.
I really hope not.
Um,
Oh, speaking of that, did y'all see where Micah Parsons came out and said that he is willing to take a big discount?
Yep.
He doesn't
Saw that.
want a max deal because he wants to build a good team.
Shut up.
I swear to God. So
Those words came out of his mouth. He
So
did say that.
here's what needs to happen then. Trade Dak immediately because Dak would not say those words, which is stupid. And then start building that team around Micah. Just build the whole thing around Micah
Yeah.
and go from there.
As far as the games went this morning, I mean, there was a couple close ones. Panthers actually beat the Cardinals in overtime. Cardinals are pretty much eliminated with that loss, right? 7
Oh,
and 8.
the Cardinals are out too.
Yeah. Commanders knock off the Eagles. Knock off the Eagles for you, Dustin. But Jalen Hurts' health. How's that going to look going into the playoffs?
That's a great
Was
question.
it a concussion?
How bad was it?
He had a
What was it?
concussion. I don't know. It was bad enough to where he couldn't come back in the game. So
It didn't look too bad, but
Well, they can. Let's see here. Do they? I think we play them next week. They can probably beat us without him, so they'll probably rest him next week.
yeah.
oh, Kenny Pickett can beat y'all.
I think so.
I mean, yeah, why not let him beat y'all? God.
Rams beat the Jets.
Just keep on getting-
19-9. Aaron Rodgers went out in that game too.
That's why they lost.
That's
That's exactly why they lost.
Oh, he came. No, he came back in.
Oh.
You're good.
That's why they lost.
came back,
Because
yeah.
he came back in.
There
He
you
had 150 yards passing in at halftime.
Woo.
Yeah. Lions destroyed the Bears. The Titans actually kind of made this a game, but this game wasn't as close as it looked. It was 38-30. And Giants Falcons, pretty much a meaningless game.
Michael Penix.
Well, no, the Falcons are still in the
Falcons are in the
playoff
hunt.
race. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Michael Penix look?
They said he went. Let's see here.
He went 18 for 27, 202 yards and an interception.
Damn.
Bijan Robinson, 22 carries, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
That first drive, I
That
told
ain't
you,
bad at all.
he went 0-3, but he put those 3 balls on a fucking dime.
They dropped him, right?
They just dropped them.
Yeah.
Like
Huh.
he put them where only they can drop them.
Okay, let's pick the Cowboys Bucks game, and then I got to roll.
Okay.
Bucks are 2-point favorites.
Give me Bucky Irvin 2 touchdowns.
Where are you seeing that spread at?
Wait, I'm sorry, 10-point favorites.
4-point favorites.
4-point favorites.
the
Oh, what the
fuck?
fuck? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I was looking at something else. I'm sorry.
What the 2-10?
No, I was
Fucking
looking
20
at the
25.
Commanders. It said Commanders +4.
Yeah, this is Bucks -4 here. Is what I'm seeing. I would hammer the Bucks in that.
I would hammer the Bucks. Give me Bucky Irvin 2 touchdowns.
I would take a CD Lamb
I
touchdown.
definitely like the over too. The Bucks and the over 47.5.
Yeah,
The Bucks are going to score, and I think we will too.
I can see like a 34-17 game
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Definitely see that.
34-17.
But as a Packers fan, we kind of need the Cowboys to win, right?
Yeah, I'd rather play Seattle in the first round
Then Tampa Bay.
Than
than
Tampa.
Tampa Bay. Yeah, absolutely.
Tampa's beat.
Are
freaking-
y'all really that afraid of Tampa Bay?
Yes.
No, I mean it's just you want the easiest route. I mean, why not play first round against the
A
Seahawks?
team you just beat the crap out of
Yeah,
on the road.
Tampa
on the road.
Tampa beat the Lions and the Eagles this year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Tampa, I agree. They do. There's some times they look really good.
All right, but that's all we got. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to our show. We need to be saying that more for some reason. We made a bunch of videos for the Ganado State Championship game. There's a bunch of highlights through their playoff run that we have on there. Y'all go check it out. And congratulations to them. Congratulations to them. We'll give them an applause one more time. Ganado, give Coach Ervin that big raise. Give him that big raise.
Haven't felt that much
We'll negotiate for him too.
ever.
We'll just take 30% off the top, and we'll be good.
Hey, I got one right here. Free to use. Like and subscribe.
Oh, okay.
So it's free to use. Like and comment.
All right. You heard him. We will see you guys later.
So I'm taking